What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to your $15,000 Eidl grant and 24 months of working capital update. It is Veterans Day, November the 11th, 11/11/2021, 11/11/21. Please do me a huge favor. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and go find me over on Twitter at Try Small Biz, username Small Biz Inc., where I'm not only going to help grow your small biz, but together we're going to make a bloody fortune in the stock market. All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Veterans Day to all our veterans. I grew up in Fort Drum, New York, the 10th Mountain Division. We love and appreciate you. I want you to understand on this very special day how much of an honor it is for me to serve you, and I will not quit until it's 10 grand, regardless of size, location, or credit score. $2 million caps, which I'm happy to say are finally here. 24 months of capital, and pay attention to your portal. We're going to talk about that in a second. And yes, this time next year, especially since the Democrats have gotten their ass kicked recently, most notably in Virginia, we have a chance when the payments become due to get Chucky Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, who I hear is retiring, to wipe out the Eidl loan in order to buy your vote, so you never pay the SBA a friggin' dime. So ladies and gentlemen, pull up a chair. Grab a gigantic bottle of water, ice cold beer, glass of wine. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Lots going on today. I hope you're doing well. Might want to pipe up in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. Are you in reconsideration, reevaluation? What did the SBA say today, or actually yesterday in a webinar with respect to money? Is it actually going to run out before the end of the year? And if you are in the stock market, stick around for the second half, because I want to talk about one stock in particular that has been very, very good to us, and I think it's not over yet. So ladies and gentlemen, let me start by saying there was a webinar yesterday where the SBA said very clearly they've got billions and billions of dollars. Even though some money's been pulled out with respect to infrastructure / reconciliation, they have plenty of money to go through the rest of the year with respect to the 10 plus the $5,000 supplemental grant. So if you're in a low-income community, and no, I haven't gotten middle-income people the $10,000 they were promised in the CARES Act, but there isn't another fucking guy along with myself and Speak and See as one or two examples who have tried harder to try to get these motherfuckers in Washington, D.C. to give you money. Because what are we asking for? We're asking for the 10 grand that you were promised in the CARES Act within 72 hours. Congressional intent, there's been over 50 letters from both parties has come out since then and said, well, our intention was to get them 10 grand. But Trump / Carranza rationed the grants and capped the loans at 150. And then Biden / Guzman, of course, came up with the low-income policy map with Nancy Pelosi's help in the House caucus with respect to the HEROES Act. And after 9 months, they refuse to remove what I consider to be a racist, discriminatory policy. So they're both full of shit, if you haven't heard me say that a few times before. Washington, D.C. is run and paid for by big business. They really don't care about you and me. 2/3 of all small business owners, there's 33 million in this country, actually 100 million if you count the side hustlers, are one person. I'm a one-man show for the most part. I used to have a partner, but he's gone on to bigger and better things. So I'm running my company by myself, and I'm going to help grow your company by myself with the help of massive amounts of advertising, SEO, and of course our reach on social media, which is almost 200,000 strong across LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And by the way, speaking of YouTube, I don't know when they started this, but when I put out a comment in YouTube comments, my name is highlighted in gray. It's highlighted in gray. So if you see one of those scammers telling you to WhatsApp them or text them, and they claim to be me, they got the same name and face, if you don't see that name highlighted in gray, it's not them. I have the highlight. And if you're still in doubt, just click through. You'll see 70. You'll see 70,000 subscribers. 70,400. Thank you very much to those who have given me a chance. You haven't seen anything yet. So look, ladies and gentlemen, plenty of money. If you're in a low income, you're stuck in reconsideration or reevaluation, don't worry. They're not going to run out. So, ladies and gentlemen, what should you do? Most importantly, if you haven't gotten a privacy release form from your senators, congressmen, and women, that's limited power of attorney. Every day in the comments, you see someone who finally gets their money because they do that. Reach out to your local SBA. When they tell you, oh, that's not our job, just calmly say, I understand it's not your job to get me funded, but I need you to reach out to someone for me in reconsideration so they can get my application processed. Half the states in this country are doing that. Mississippi, West Virginia, amazing. Washington, D.C., and Atlanta, where I currently live now, I'm from New York, absolutely fucking atrocious. They should all be fired. They should be ashamed of themselves because not only do they refuse to help, but in Washington, they threaten to block you. If you keep emailing us, we're going to block you. Well, go fuck yourself, Washington, D.C., and you SBA cocksuckers. We have people that have families. We have our great retired or disabled veterans who have proudly served this country, and you threaten to block them? Go fuck yourself, in case you haven't heard me the first time. You wonder why they shadow ban me and hide my videos? Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell, ladies and gentlemen. YouTube doesn't like it when I swear, so tough shit. Go to your portal. That's where people are seeing major amounts of improvement. When you log into your SBA portal, on the right-hand side, about a third of you are seeing a blue button, request more funds for the first time. You hit that, it's a sliding scale. In many cases, as soon as you select the amount you want to receive, and you don't have to select the entire amount, it takes you right to the closing docs. Some of you are logging in and seeing a denied, but a request reconsideration button. You hit that, you send in your forms, driver's license front and back, corporate check front and back, your 4506T, there is no more IRS backlog, so that should be solved right now. Your hazard insurance, very cheap. You can get $1 million from Buy Berk, BIBERK.com. It's a Berkshire Hathaway company. Get $1 million for around 50 or 60. I would get a loan or an insurance policy, twice the amount of the loan you're going to get. So if you're due to get $500,000, if it's me, I'd get $1 million policy. You can always change it later. And of course, you got to have, in some cases, for under $500,000, 2202, which is your liabilities. Put your business credit cards. Do not put your home mortgage. That is not part of your 2202 with your liabilities. For those of you seeking up to $2 million, as I've said before, it's all about credit score. You got to have a 615 to get over $500,000. You got to have a 570 to get under $500,000. With respect to the loan, all they care about is your 2019 gross revenue and your credit score. Even though you got to fill in your assets and liabilities and your real estate holding, they aren't looking at that. I'm convinced most of it's automated because, again, there's people getting $2 million or the balance thereof without ever getting a phone call from anyone at the SBA. They're zooming through $5 billion plus a week in loans processed. I know it's frustrating for some of you, but we had 2 people yesterday and today. One guy waited a year. He'd been in reconsideration for a year. Now, my guess is he got lost in the shuffle because there's been a lot of turnover. They outsource most of the employees. So as soon as someone says, fuck this, I'm out of here, your application might be sitting in limbo for months. That's why you got to get your senators involved with a privacy release form. You got to call once a week at least and say, I need you to check my file. Do I have the half a dozen things, including my 4506T, so I can get processed? Yes, you do. I see it right here. They can all see it right now. Okay, I need you to notate that. The last thing she notates, if you call customer service, it's a new 833 number I mentioned the other day. I have all the stuff that I need in order to get processed. And then it is a waiting game. Now, they're telling people if you're going after a loan for the first time, you can get funded within 3 weeks. But if you're in reconsideration, they're still saying almost 2 to 3 months. But if you've been in reconsideration for that long or longer, and you do what I've said, and I've said it a million times, you're going to get funded before the end of this year. I'm going to estimate at least 90 to 95% of you are going to have your money before Christmas. No, it's not a holiday tree. It's a fucking Christmas tree, in case you haven't heard the news. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not interested in the stock market, I'm going to run over 10 minutes. You can check out right now. If you are interested, Mary, Edward, Tom, X-Ray. This is the 6th time on Twitter. I am sharing real-time stock picks on Twitter. It's the 6th time I've gone into that stock. METX 55 cents was the low today. Why did I say that? Volume dried up. It normally trades about 80 million shares. At around 1 o'clock this afternoon, it barely traded 20 million, and it was laying flat. And so was BBIG if you got in with me at $4.35. Bob, Idiot Gary, I think it's going to make another run north of 5. Way oversold. Volume is down 70 or 80% in the small cap stocks. When they get pummeled and you see all the technical indicators like stochastics and MACD and RSI way oversold down around 20 or less, and the volume's non-existent, that means the short sellers have run out of ammunition and the sellers, the weak hands, are gone. That's when you want to start to accumulate. So when it started to turn off of 55 cents, METX, I said, this is it. It bottomed the first time at 41 cents. Then it bottomed at 47 cents. This time it looks like it's going to bottom around 55 cents. I think it closed at 58 and change. Do not chase it. If you pay 58, that's on you, not me. Try to buy it on a pullback, either pre-market tomorrow or when the market opens, somewhere in the mid-50s. We have a triple top, which means there's 3 levels of resistance where it's failed around 73 or 74 cents. It has to get through that in order to get to $1, which it must get to by the end of this year, beginning of next, or it's in violation of NASDAQ compliance. Although, and I say this although with confidence, because they've done offerings totaling now almost $100 million, they're probably going to get another 6-month extension. So I will be shocked if they don't get, given the fact they are doing about 150 million in revenue with 100 million in cash. I'd be shocked if they don't give them an extension. The only reason why they wouldn't, it's a Chinese company. And I think you can figure out why that is. But it's still a sound company. They've done 3 offerings. The first was to expand education in the States because they're pretty much outlawing education after school hours in China. The second was to get the Bitcoin miners, which sent the stock skyrocketing on huge volume into the mid-70s. Within about a week, generally, of doing an offering, they come out and tell you why they raised $20 million. So they pissed off everybody, right? They destroyed the momentum. A lot of people on StockTwits and other chat rooms like Yahoo were furious. Why? Because they didn't sell like I told them to. I said, you need to get out of the stock at 67 or 70 when it was trading thereafter. Oh, I'm not selling it. It's going to $1. Oh, really? Well, where did it go back down to? 51 or 52 cents. Now it's in the mid to high 50s. Going to make another attempt to get them through the mid 70s. I would estimate Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, when the offering closes, they're gonna come out and say, what was that $20 million for? Why did you destroy the momentum on a stock that was headed to $1 or higher? Why are you doing an offering, the third one now in 3 months? My guess, and this is just a guess, because Bitcoin's on fire, minus the pullback the last day or two, they're buying another round of Bitcoin miners. That's my guess. And if that's the case, I think the stock catches fire big time and has a chance to blow through the mid-70s, take out $1. The 200-day moving average is $1.40. Very, very possible, but it's got to get through that triple top in the mid-70s. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if none of that made sense and you stuck around to the end, trust me, I'm going to do shows and episodes, videos on how to invest, totally different ballgame, and how to trade a portion of your money. And if you're new, you'll start small. You'll buy $500 to $1,000 of a stock. Once you get used to how to enter and exit a trade, by the way, I use E-Trade. I'm not saying it's better, but they charge me almost nothing. I'm moving around. I don't have millions of dollars in my account, but I'm trading $5 to $10 million at least a month between what I move in and out, in and out, in and out. They charge me literally hundreds of dollars so far this year. I'm like, are you guys paying attention to my account? Because you're not charging me anything. That's why I like E-Trade. For whatever reason, they don't charge Jason any money. So until next time, if you stuck around, in under 15 minutes, won't always be this way. Follow me over on Twitter. That's where the real-time shares are. At TrySmallBiz, username, SmallBiz Inc. And always remember, I love each and every one of you. And thank you so much for watching.